Ares, the second son of the king and queen of Olympus and god of war, is a formidable figure in Greek myth. And yet, he played a key part in the foundation of the very first Greek city-state. Tonight, we will move through the mists of time to uncover the story. Despite this tale involving the god of war, it starts and ends with love. Thanks again to Frankie for writing this one, which I'll be reading for you. If you'd love more content from Get Sleepy and the very best listening experience, be sure to check out our members subscription, Get Sleepy Premium. Tomorrow night, in our weekly premium bonus episode, Simon will take us on an adventure in Sri Lanka, where we'll snorkel with sea turtles and gentle reef sharks. To find out more about all the perks of being a Get Sleepy Premium member, like ad-free listening, early access to episodes, discount on merchandise, and plenty more, just visit the link in the description. Thank you so much for your support. Now, my friends, let's take a few moments to set the scene and relax our weary bodies before we begin. First, imagine yourself in a wide green plain. The wind flows through the tall grasses, and the sun shines down in a patchwork across the ground. In the distance, there are blue mountains. You are lying on the fertile earth, surrounded by the calm of an empty landscape. You can hear the breeze whistling by as the clouds make their steady crawl across the sky. Allow your body to sink into the soothing earth. You are perfectly supported by the ground beneath you. Imagine all the tension in your body as a warm, golden light. It builds up over a day of physical activity, propelling you through your tasks. But now is the time to release the light. Direct it to flow out from your body and into the earth beneath you. You don't need this energy anymore, so give it back to the planet. It will go on to help the grasses grow, the flowers bloom, and the whole plain flourish. As the last of the extra light leaves your body, you are completely at ease. Your muscles are relaxed, and your mind is calm. In the distance, you can hear the soft sound of a cowbell ringing regularly, as if an animal is patiently walking towards you. Even softer are the sound of footfalls, like a small crowd following the animal. But this is a vision of what is to come. Before we follow this cow, we must go back a few years. This is where our story begins. Aphrodite looks just as radiant as ever, with the tiny baby in her arms. She beams up into the face of the child's father, Ares. When it comes to the divine consort of Aphrodite, goddess of love and beauty, many of the other deities were surprised that she chose the god of war. And yet, their relationship is one that endures, filled with passion. Now, they have brought a little goddess into the world. They savor this quiet moment together, knowing that it will not last. Even now, they can hear the rest of the children on the other side of the door, desperate to get in and meet their new sibling. Ares places a large hand on the head of his only daughter, caressing her silky, soft hair. She focuses her eyes on him and grasps his finger. At this moment, Ares realizes he will know no love like that which he carries for his daughter. The moment is cut short as the noise of the boys on the other side of the door grows louder. A scuffle appears to have started. Aphrodite laughs her tinkling chuckle and tells Ares to let them in. Ares smiles to himself as he crosses to the door. He grips the handle and opens it 1 inch. The faces of 6 boys bob against the opening, all speaking at once. They range in age, from 2 to 14 years old, each as excited as the last. Ares tells them that they cannot enter unless they calm themselves. He reminds them that this is not the stadium, but their mother's bedroom and a place for calm. He has to fight back a laugh as all 6 boys do their best to stand to attention and show that they alone amongst their brothers should be allowed in. Satisfied, Ares opens the door completely and leads his sons to their mother's bedside. They line the bed solemnly as Aphrodite shows them their little sister and newest sibling. Ares can tell they are impressed because they are all silent, a rare occasion. Finally, the eldest, Eros, asks her name. Aphrodite tells them that she has named the goddess Harmonia. Eros, Phobos, Deimos, and Teros, Himeros, and little Pothos all whisper the name to themselves. Aphrodite explains to her sons that their sister will be the goddess of harmony. Ares mentally sends thanks to his father Zeus for that blessing. His daughter will hopefully outweigh the chaos of his sons, who are all gods of love or war. Ares looks at his family and tries to dedicate every detail to memory to be cherished forever. Years pass, and Harmonia matures into a full goddess. Her brothers set up their own homes around the Mediterranean world, for at this time it is common for deities and immortals to live amongst humanity. Harmonia, the last to leave Aphrodite and Ares' palace on Olympus, goes to her father to ask his advice on where she should settle. Together, they look down at the world. They inspect the various islands, mountains, valleys, and regions of Greece and beyond. Finally, Harmonia points to a small island in the northeastern corner of the Aegean Sea. Samothrace is not large, has few natural harbours, and is mainly dominated by Mount Seos. Ares nods his approval. It is far from the fighting, squabbles, and worries of this still very young world. The perfect spot. Harmonia makes a modest home on the island, content to wander its paths and amuse herself for some time. Her parents, siblings, and extended family often visit. Every time Ares comes to see her, he reminds her of the dangers of the rest of the world and her duty as the goddess of harmony. Her place is on this peaceful island, and for a time, she agrees with him. Her mother, Aphrodite, simply watches these exchanges with a sly smile and says nothing. One day, Harmonia notices a ship on the horizon. It fascinates her, as none of her family ever need to board a ship to come and see her. All morning, the boat gets closer and closer. Finally, it anchors not far from the island's solitary harbour, and a smaller boat is rowed to shore. There are a few humans on Samothrace. They make up a quiet fishing village and are devoted to Harmonia. They greet the strangers from the ship according to the laws of hospitality. Harmonia decides to disguise herself as a priestess and greet the visitors as well. She wraps a shawl around herself as she races down the mountain to the village. The villagers are entertaining their guests with a modest feast. Harmonia slips amongst them to get a look at the newcomers. There are 2 young men and 1 older woman in the party. Through listening to snatches of conversation, Harmonia learns that they are Telephassa and her 2 sons, Thasus and Cadmus. Harmonia has never seen a young man like Cadmus before. She can't take her eyes off of him. She barely even hears him telling the villagers that he is on an exploratory mission with his brother to find a new place to settle and start new kingdoms. Harmonia sneaks away once again and runs to her secret grove on the mountainside. She has never felt this way before. She paces in an agitated fashion, unsure of what to do. She thinks about calling up to her father, who always answers her calls and will drop everything to spend a few moments with his daughter. She considers how her father will react upon hearing of her feelings for a mortal man, and changes her mind. Instead, she calls up to her mother. Within seconds, Aphrodite appears in a haze of pink mist. Together, the 2 goddesses create a plan for Harmonia to meet Cadmus. Aphrodite, in the guise of a priestess, goes to Cadmus and his family, offering to give them a blessing for their journey. As Cadmus, Thasus, and Telephassa sit in the still, comforting darkness of the temple on the island, they are enveloped in the sweet perfume of jasmine flowers. Incense burns, and Aphrodite's voice lulls them into a state of meditative relaxation. Cadmus allows his eyes to flutter open for a moment and sees a figure before him. He opens his eyes fully and takes in the sight of Harmonia for the first time. The electricity between them is nearly palpable. Blissful days pass on Samothrace. Soon, Thasus leaves for another island, determined to continue his search for a new home. Cadmus too starts thinking about travel. He asks Harmonia if she wants to come with him, and she answers yes almost immediately. The words of her father are not forgotten, but she knows that as the goddess of harmony she can do more out in the world rather than be stuck on this little island. Telephassa decides to stay on Samothrace and waves off the young couple as they board their ship. Rather than sailing around the Mediterranean looking for a sign from the gods, Harmonia convinces Cadmus that they should make for Delphi to consult the oracle. Her motivation is twofold, for she also wants a chance to ask her father his opinion on where they should go. Delphi is a sacred place for the god Apollo. Prophecy and divining the future are among Apollo's many responsibilities. However, Delphi has also been a place where other gods might speak to mortals through the seer. Harmonia and Cadmus sit in the temple, waiting for the Pythia to give her oration. In the dark inner sanctum of the temple, a vision arises in Harmonia's mind as the Pythia begins speaking. In her mind, she can see her father mouthing the words of the prophecy. Cadmus, too, has a vision of a deity speaking the words, though he envisions Athena, the protector goddess of heroes. The Pythia tells the young couple that they should follow the cow with the crescent marking on its hide and build a city wherever it lies down. Harmonia and Cadmus leave the temple, puzzling over the words. That is, until just a few moments later, when Cadmus walks right into a brown cow with a white crescent-shaped patch of fur on her side. The cow lows at them and then turns east and starts walking. Cadmus and Harmonia hurry after the animal. They travel for many months. Trailing behind them are some of Cadmus's followers from back home, a few of the villagers from Samothrace, and many more people who have decided to join the couple on their quest to start a new city. Eventually, the entire group comes through a valley into a wide green plain, a more beautiful piece of land Harmonia is certain she has never seen. The cow wanders to the middle of the plain, near a sparkling river that snakes through the countryside, and lies down for a rest. Harmonia, Cadmus, and their followers cheer with joy. Finally, they have found the spot to start their new city. They take deep breaths, reveling in the taste of the fresh air. The plain seems like a slice of heaven to Cadmus, Harmonia, and their followers. The entire group begins unpacking, setting up camp, and discussing the future city. Harmonia picks up a bucket and makes her way to the nearby river. She hums happily to herself as she walks. She glances up at the sky and is surprised to see one dark cloud over the river. She peers down at the water and sees it bubbling. The sparkling surface reveals a large shape. First, a head emerges from the water, glittering green and smooth. The eyes are the color of pure amber and look cunning. In hardly the space of a breath, the rest of the huge serpent comes out of the water and elegantly lands on the bank of the river. Time slows for Harmonia. She is aware of movement and activity behind her, but ignores it. Her eyes are locked on those of the serpent. She knows that she should be afraid, but something inside her tells her that she will come to no harm. The air around her and the serpent fills with sparkling specks of gold as the world pauses. The flowing river freezes in its course. The wind ceases to blow, and the clouds stop their crawl across the sky. Even the serpent is completely still. Harmonia doesn't so much hear the voice of Ares, but feels his thoughts arrive, fully formed in her head. He tells her that this serpent is sacred to him and a gift for her and her people. By defeating this serpent, Cadmus will fulfill his destiny as a hero. Ares gives Harmonia specific instructions for what she and Cadmus must do once the serpent is defeated. She listens in rapt silence. Finally, Ares assures her that no true hero can go through life without trials, and that he has decided to be the one to put those trials before Cadmus. This isn't because he wants the young man to fail, but because he wants to be able to have a say in the outcome. Harmonia is still taking in his words when time seeps back into the world. Before Harmonia knows what is happening, Cadmus races past her with his sword upraised. He fights the serpent and defeats it, prompting a cheer from their waiting crowd. Though Harmonia knew that Cadmus would succeed, she cheers as loudly as the rest of their followers. That night, they hold a feast, the first one of their new city. They eat and laugh together beneath a cheerful sky, and then under a ceiling of bright stars. They tell stories and weave a collective tale about the future of this new city. It will be the first and greatest of all Grecian city-states. The stars shine so bright that night, they can imagine that the gods themselves are joining in with their revelry. In the morning, Harmonia wakes Cadmus and tells him that they have work to do. They return to the place where the serpent lies. Harmonia tells him to follow her instructions, no matter how strange or outlandish they might seem. He agrees immediately, having learned after their months of travel together that she is wise and connected to the gods. She instructs him to remove all the teeth from the mouth of the great serpent. Cadmus gets to work immediately. As their other followers start to wake up, they gather to help him, but Harmonia holds them back. As the founder of their new home, Cadmus must complete this task alone. Cadmus collects the teeth, many of which are as long as his forearm. They are stacked into a gleaming pile, the color of burnished bronze. When Cadmus has removed every tooth, Harmonia tells him to plough a field and plant the teeth into the furrows. Once again, he doesn't question her, but simply gets to work. He toils for half the day, being sure to plant the teeth in straight rows at even distances. Cadmus and Harmonia's followers watch as he works. Over the course of the day, they attend to their chores, setting up the camp even more. They collect firewood and water, make food, and mind their children. But when they have a moment of free time, they return to the edge of Cadmus's field to watch him at work. Cadmus refuses to take a break, even for some water. By the time he finishes, the sun is starting its descent. Its light seems to lay across the entire plain, like a golden-colored blanket. Cadmus unhooks the horse that he was using to help him plough, and brushes it down gratefully, asking one of the boys to make sure the hard-working animal is well taken care of this evening. In the minutes preceding the sunset, the entire camp gathers at the edge of the field with a feeling of hesitant expectation. They watch the newly turned earth for the smallest sign of change or magic as the light transitions from gold to bronze to copper. Suddenly, Harmonia makes a sound and points to one of the furrows. Something is rising up out of the earth. First, the tip of a spear appears, pushed through the rich, fertile soil. Other spear points rise from where the dragon teeth were buried. Another moment later reveals helmets and heads. Within a very short amount of time, the field now stands dense with tall, strong warriors. They stare straight ahead, unmoving. Like fearsome stalks of corn, they stand with their feet in the earth. Cadmus steps forward from the watching crowd and lifts his sword to the sky. He commands them with their name, a word that appears in his mind as if placed there by the hand of a god. Spartoi. At once the soldiers stand to attention and salute Cadmus. Harmonia notices that the faces of each of the Spartoi look vaguely like that of her father. The nose of this one, or the set of eyes on that one. She smiles to herself, knowing that they have been blessed. She sends up a silent prayer of thanks to Ares. It has been a strange way of helping, she must admit to herself. And yet, her father is not used to creation. He only knows destruction. Over the following weeks and months, the Spartoi helped to build the city and its fortifications under Cadmus's direction. One day, while they are working on the outer walls of the city, Harmonia comes by to offer refreshments to the men. She works her way along the line, offering out cups of fresh water and chatting with the Spartoi. Many of them have already partnered with the women and are planning families. Harmonia gets to the last man in the line and recognizes a familiar figure. She walks up and offers Ares a cup of water. He smiles at her and takes the water gratefully. They spend a few moments making small talk. Finally, Harmonia comments that this sort of work is not usual for the god of war and an Olympian. Her father's smile widens as he assures her that he's just as capable of building fortifications as the next man. Even better, perhaps. He bids her to carry on with her duties, and she places a kiss on his cheek before moving on. One year later, when the city is finally finished, a huge festival is thrown. It is not just a festival for the city, but also the first wedding to be held here. The new city is bedecked with flowers, garlands, and fabric decorations. The first harvests of the surrounding fields are brought in to load up the long dining tables in the main square. Everyone is cheerful, excited, and grateful. In the past year, the people of this new city have flourished. The Spartoi have integrated themselves into city life, many of them becoming soldiers, advisors, politicians, and fathers. The crowning glory of this new city sits in the center. It is a gleaming temple to the gods, which the residents of the city have nicknamed the Cadmea in honor of their founder. The future seems very bright. The biggest change, however, is the introduction of the Phoenician alphabet. Cadmus's homeland was far to the east in Phoenicia, where they used this selection of symbols to write down their language. He has spent the past year teaching everyone in the city how to use it. The city is now covered in inscriptions. Messages are passed back and forth in writing every day. Even the laws and ordinances of the city are drawn up and presented for the entire population to see. Cadmus is in his dressing room, nervously preparing for the wedding day. Despite that he faced down a serpent, built a city, and crossed the world for this day, nothing has yet made him more nervous than he is at this moment. He fidgets with his outfit in front of a piece of burnished bronze that he uses as a mirror. Suddenly, he turns, spotting a figure behind him. Ares, god of war, stands before him in bright, shining armor and formal regalia. Ares approaches the young man and looks him up and down, before offering the briefest smile. Harmonia is similarly being attended by a deity. Her mother, Aphrodite, maneuvers the last lock of her hair into place and smiles at her daughter. Then Aphrodite leaves the room, blowing a kiss on the way out. Harmonia stands, grabs her bouquet of flowers, and waits by the door to her dressing room. A moment later, her father appears. He raises his eyebrows, asking if she is ready. She nods in return and takes his arm. Together, father and daughter walk through the palace to the main square of the city. In the square, they find every single resident of the city, plus many more. The Olympians and many other deities and immortals have come here to witness this momentous occasion. Harmonia holds on tightly to Ares' arm as they walk down the aisle. She spots her brothers, all tall and handsome. Zeus and Hera sit in a place of honor, looking radiant. Her mother, Aphrodite, beams from the front row. At the end of the aisle, Ares hands her over to Cadmus with a stiff look, and Harmonia nearly bursts out into laughter. They turn to face the gathered crowd as a couple. Cadmus tells the entire city that before they are joined together, they must christen their new home. He glances at Harmonia once more, who smiles. And then he announces the name of the city, Thebes. The crowd cheers, and the city's future is assured.